So, what are you praying for? What are you contending for? What are you requesting from the Lord? Is it healing? Is it provision, marriage? Maybe maybe you have a child that's struggling with addiction. Whatever it is, what is that? And what are you doing for this to come to pass? Sometimes we're praying to the Lord, Lord, bring forward healing. Heal me from diabetes type 2, for example. Lord, heal me from this diabetes. Set me free from it. But then you're still eating a pound of cake. So we can be praying for this to happen when we're not using the fruits of the Spirit to help us get through this, because one of the fruits of the Spirit is self-control. So you have it in you. You have that self-control and you just need to put it to practice to not eat that pound of cake. And then when you start walking into authority in the fruits of the Spirit that you have, you will see that healing. You might see that healing come to pass. I started asking the Lord for a new pancreas, and now my blood sugars are excellent. But I also put food down, and when I have cravings, just because I'm craving something doesn't mean I need to give Sandra that. I mean, the Lord has given me self-control for that. So if I'm craving an ice cream, a s'more, a cupcake, a honey bun, I'm not going to eat all that, right? Because, no, I have to practice self-control. How am I going to get healed from diabetes type 2 when I'm still just saying yes, yes, yes to the flesh? It ain't going to happen. It doesn't work like that. Maybe you're praying for provision. Lord, help me I need money right now to pay this rent. And then maybe you have a little money saved up, and then you get antsy, you get anxious, and then you want to go on a shopping spree. No, practice self-control. You are empowered by the Holy Spirit. You have self-control, and you need to put it to practice. The more you put it to practice, the better you will be, the more self-control you will have. So, sometimes, like I said, we're asking for provision, but the Lord is like, dude, I've given you a better job, but now you're just spending more. So we have to be good stewards while the Lord is providing for us. We have to ask for self-control, and Lord, help me be a better steward of what you are already blessing me with. Because it doesn't matter if you have a better job, if you get more money, if you don't go become a better steward what the Lord is blessing you with, everything's gonna still go just through your hands, because you're not practicing self-control. When you get anxious and you want to go on Amazon and just go on a shopping spree, you just do it, you're gonna always be broke still. We have to practice self-control. We have empowerment by the Holy Spirit. It's right there. Maybe you're contending for your marriage. Maybe our marriages need Jesus, man. I'm telling you, we can't do this alone. And sometimes the Lord tells you to be the bigger person. Like if your spouse offends you and you just want to defend yourself and say something back, sometimes the Holy Spirit is like, hey, hush, be the bigger person. Forgive them and go talk to the Lord. And that's sometimes what you have to do for your marriage to get better. You sometimes have to be the bigger person. Maybe you're stronger, spiritually you're stronger than your spouse, and you have to be the bigger person. That's just what it has to be. But God is always willing, but we also have to do our part, because God ain't gonna do it all for us. We're not robots. He gave us the Holy Spirit to empower us to walk in the fruits of the Spirit. So everything we need to overcome all this stuff, it's already in us. We just have to put it into practice, because if you don't put it into practice, then you'll be weak in those areas. So sometimes we're contending, Lord, why haven't you shut up? Why do I still have this? Or maybe you're asking the Lord to help you with weight loss. You want to lose some weight, but you're still eating a whole full pie, the honey bun, and you don't say no to your flesh, and you just eat it. How are you going to lose weight if you're not doing your part? Yes, you cannot do it alone. Let's say that. But the Holy Spirit lives in you, and one of the fruits of the Spirit is self-control. So you can have self-control. You have it in you. You just have to put it into practice. And sometimes we're getting in the way of God doing what He needs to do. Maybe you have a child that's struggling with addiction, but you're always coming through. You're always saving them from any from everything. You don't let them grow up. You're pretty much enabling this child of yours to continue in their addiction. So you're probably getting in the way. You might be getting in the way for the Lord. That you're probably, the child needs to hit rock bottom and be like, hey, I really need some help. And turn to the Lord and get into a treatment facility, get some help, look for other people that can help. But if you're always there saving them, they're never going to be able to grow up. So maybe you're getting in your own way of your own prayer. And it takes time. It takes time. You have to say to your flesh, no, 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 no. And Galatians 6:9 says, so let's not get tired of doing what is good. At just the right time, we will reap a harvest of blessing if we don't give up. So if you're contending for your marriage, maybe you're going to have to be quiet and not respond to the offense maybe 10 times. You just have to do it. At the right time, you'll be like, hey, look at my marriage. It's getting better now. Why? Because I shut my mouth and I didn't respond to their offense. I didn't take the bait, the bait of Satan. I didn't take it. I let it go. And provision. Hey, now I have money. Why? Because I became a better steward. The Lord helped me be a better steward with my money. I dealt with that anxiety I was having of just going and spending money because my emotions were taking over. Maybe, I don't know what you're contending for, but if you're not seeing nothing happen, we have to ask ourselves, what am I doing? Am I getting in the way of this prayer from coming to pass? And the Lord will tell you, get in the Word. And there's nothing that you can, there's nothing too big for God. But it might be too big for you. But you have to remember that the Holy Spirit lives in you. Whether you take advantage of the fruits of the Spirit, whether you take advantage and take authority, that's up to you. You can grow spiritually as much as you want. You can be a baby spiritual person or a mature spiritual person. So it's up to you. And sometimes we get in the way of our own prayers and then we wonder why nothing's happening, why the Lord is not coming through. But the Lord is just waiting. The Lord is waiting and willing. But it's us that we have not taken the step to make the right choice. James 4:7 says, if you know what you ought to do and you're not doing it, it's a sin. If you know that you shouldn't eat that pie and you're still doing it, it's a sin. If you know you shouldn't be spending that rent money and you're doing it, it's a sin. If you're nagging at your spouse and just humiliating them or bringing them down, or just if they offend you, you have to defend yourself, that might be a sin too. So what are you doing that is preventing from this prayer to come to pass? So we have to check ourselves because we might be the ones wrecking ourselves. I hope you have a blessed day.